curious if there's some requirement to do this, and that's why you put it in there, or to ease their minds, or protection, all three.
Why do you think? The biggest reason why is because I don't want. If they want to come back at me for anything, here you go. Yeah. Have the house back, man. Yeah. Thank you. I had a great run. I made some money on it. Yeah. Done. Is there any reason why you would not use this form?
No. It just says what already is going to happen anyway.
Not necessarily.
Well, the bank would be foreclosing anyway, and it's going to go back to them.
Oh, not after 30 days, a non-payment.
No.
Yeah.
But you buy you a few more months, that's all.
So there's two types of closing, guys. Through a title company or a closing attorney, it's a standard closing, and then yourself, which is called a table. I've done both.
Through a title company?
Through a title company. Say tile? Oh, it's a title. I know it's getting late. I know it's like 3 days, man. Let me take my contact out here. So, which one do I recommend?
Which one do you lean towards?
What I do is I do a lot of table closings. And the reason for that is because I have the things already in a trust and I have a power of attorney. That's my way around the insurable title. If you're not going to hold things in a trust, I recommend that you go through a title company. That gives you clear title to do what you need to do in the future. So signed disclosures. Provide your disclosures to the closing agent. Have them signed by the buyer or have them signed outside of closing. So I recently just closed one through title. It was a sub-2 purchase. And the title agent said, I'm not going to do that. You can provide all your disclosures outside of title. I'm just going to do my own little thing here, which was like 2 or 3 documents only. So I happily paid her $3,500 for title and insurance, but I had to do everything outside of closing. And this person lived in Arkansas, so I had to FedEx everything to them, arrange for a mobile notary, do all that stuff so it could come back to me. So it's a bit of a hassle, but again, I knew that this is a property that I was going to quickly turn around and get rid of. So for the insurance purposes on title, this is why we did this. And she's elderly as well. It wasn't going to go into a trust. So if you do a mobile notary, if you're closing these deals yourself, you're going to need a mobile notary to help you get these things notarized, or a UPS store. Works just fine. You can all go down to the famous a UPS store, or any kind of wherever mobile notaries hang out. Note, yeah, they congregate. There you go. Note, if you're performing table closings, you run the risk of not having clear title in the future if you go to sell. I have to tell you this by disclosure, guys, okay? So if you're doing table closings, you run the risk of it not working out if you try to sell the property in the future or they try to refinance or something because of a clouded title issue.
But if you're carrying it in a trust.
If it's in a trust and you have a power of attorney,
then what happens?
Then
Let's just walk.
it's transferred into the trust. The trustee owns the property. You don't have to go through title because you can be the owner and transfer your property into a trust anytime you want. And the trustee is the person who now controls the property. The trustee signs everything. Yeah.
And they can get a traditional loan and the whole 9 yards.
That's all. Yeah, it's all good.
With that, when you sell them your interest, do you also have to use your power of attorney to give them power of attorney?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't know if that works. Chain of like power of attorneys, like daisy chain out the door. Yeah. I'm just like power of attorney for power of attorney for power of attorney for power of attorney. I don't know how that works. I've never sold my interest on it, so I just know that I could sell my interest. It's a great question. I don't know the answer. Yeah. This guy's a thinker, guys. Man. Hang out with him in the Facebook group. So there is I don't know why I didn't put this up there. Probably because I'm like, you guys, I don't want to encourage you to do table closings.
But don't you have to do it at the closing?
I've sent my mobile notary out there, and they've done everything and mailed the docs back to me. House in Reno, Nevada, or Sparks actually. House in Greeley. I bought the house in Greeley. Mom and Dad lived in Reno with their daughter, and they didn't want to come down. I was going to drive up there. I'm like, screw that, man. No way. So I hired a mobile notary. And the mobile notary, and I printed everything else out. I said, how much is it going to cost? He says, like $100. I'm like, fine, that's fine, no big deal. So we printed everything out, drove across town, met with him, had him sign everything, got it all back, put it in the mail, and mailed it to me. Scanned it into an email, so I got all the digital copies, and then put it in the mail, and I got it like in 2 or 3 days. That's what we did. It was awesome. There is a website. My mobile notary, I asked her one day, I was like, hey, I can't do this. What can I do? She's like, oh, there's a website. And I've used this, I think, 4 or 5 times. It's great. It's called notaryrotary.com. And you can go under and it says find a notary. And it's great. I just call them up. Most of these mobile notaries are already doing mortgage documents for people. So they're driving out there. They already understand, deeds of trust and things like that, and they're very familiar with it. So, so I can blow this thing up. I just put in the address of where they live at, and it just throws it up. Like, let's see. I have a house. It's called 114 Landvale, Port Wentworth, Georgia. And all of a sudden I have Jamie Cole, Michelle Stenson, James Green, Sophia Priolo, Black Lion Travel. All right, guys, I'm calling Black Lion Travel. Penny Reynolds, Darla Clarkson, Candy Quillett, Jeremy McDonald. So tells you where they're located. So I know that area very well. I'm going either with Guyton or Savannah. I'm not going with anyone in Bluffton, Richmond Hill, Pembroke, or Hilton Head. They're going to charge me, so you can see that they're way far away. So I'm just going to call up, Jaime Cole. Oh, look how sweet. Look at this guy. I'm a very professional and excited customer. So anyway, has their phone number, has everything that I need to know about them, and I just give them a call and said, hey, I have a closing that I need to have a mobile notary at. Are you available this time and day? Yes or no? That's all they tell me. Yeah, I can do it for how, and they'd say, how much? And they'd tell me. And I book it. We're done.
How much does that usually cost?
The ones that I've done, roughly about $100. Yeah, and that's included all signatures and everything. And then how do I pay them? That's the question. The guy in Reno, cut me a check. The gal down in Bakersfield, PayPal me. All right, I'm good.
So you email your documents to them?
I email all the documents, and so the documents that I have here, I filled all the documents out. I email them. I number them. I tell them which numbers need to be notarized. Tell them which numbers just need regular signatures. And so it's like 1 through 8, the documents. And why don't I provide that as a template for you guys? In case you're doing mobile notaries. Will someone keep note of the things that I've promised you? So I've promised you, I forgot already. The updated seller disclosure.
Additional letters for probate contracts.
Oh, so Gary's going to be Gary, you're the guy that's going to email me and say, Ryan, will you do this? And then when I don't do it, keep on bugging me until I do.
With TLS searches on ongoing basis, call tracker,
Well, you got the call tracker right here.
And then the narrowed down list of vacant pre-foreclosures.
For your areas. Yeah, so if you get Gary, because you're doing this, you'll get everything first. What did I say?
Oh, I was asking Irie. List of pre-foreclosures.
Vacant pre-foreclosures on property in our area.
Yeah.
What was the one that we just did while I'm looking for the other ones?
Template that he sends to mobile notaries.
Yeah. Mobile notary template. It just basically has the list of what it is, and I explain to them how they need to do it, and then send it back to me. Chances are, you might do some, remote, because you find out vacant house, and the guy's booked it to Alabama. and it just, it is
You
what
did that
happened.
one on the Mulberry, because they were in Magalia.
Yeah, they were in Magalia, of all places. I'm like, I know where that's at. And so I had a guy go up there. It's funny, too, because I never spoke to them. Gwen had always spoke to them. And so they get up there, and all they know is Gwen. And then they say all these, like, QWR for Ryan Nickel, this for Ryan Nickel, and also in this trust for my trustee. They're like, who's this person, and why is it going to this state? And they look at the mobile notary, who I happen to know him personally, and he said, oh, it's very common. They do that all the time. He's very trustworthy. He's written. She's like, well, I don't know who this is. It's kind of fishy. And he goes, well, as a mobile notary, I got to kind of be independent. But all I know about the guy is he's written 2 bestseller books on Amazon, so I don't think he's trying to screw you over. Oh, really? Okay, no problem. Credibility, guys. 2 books on Amazon.
As far as notary goes, you're saying on the land trust, you just bring in the last page. The only time I've used the mobile notary, I was there, and I just was trying to have them sign the last page of the disclosures, and I was going to go through it with them later. So I think I saw you do it. And she said, I need to be here for them to sign each one. So it seems like if I only bring in the last page, I can say I need the rest of the pages. It's like she needed a